Another awesome site I can point you to, despair.com. You're familiar with motivational posters? They have demotivational posters. Some awesome stuff on that site. And this is one way to look at what's happening with social networking. The point is, the technology is what it is. How it's being used is something else. And like any other intelligent species, it takes us a while to figure out what the tool is all about. It takes a while to read it, right? Yeah. So I want to spend a little bit of time now. I heard some interest in the room about where's the experimentation and where's the payoff right now in social networking. We'll do that. We'll move to B2B social networks, and we'll close with a few thoughts on tech marketing. Sound good? And then for anyone who has extra time, just to give a heads up, I'll be on the patio afterwards for anyone who wants to stay later for extra Q&A, if that's useful. And again, we will share the whole deck with you. So, more growth in social networks, but more of a backlash coming. Think about this. Social networking is twice the activity levels of gaming and 3 times the activity levels of email. Just chew on that for a second. And it's not just the young kids. It cuts across a variety of demographics, but certainly household gatekeepers are huge. It's a big deal. Facebook at 500 million. Now they are relevant on a legal and societal level, and Capitol Hill's checking into what the rules really are. Advertisers have been experimenting bravely. We've been experimenting for a while with social networking. At first, the biggest myth was this is a channel. I now have another digital marketing channel. It's like walking into your favorite pub and start shouting your commercial through a bullhorn. It's a little obnoxious. What do you really do when you want to go down to the pub? You sit down, you have a drink, and you listen to the conversations happening around you. You get a sense for what's the topic here? Who are these people? What interests them? And then maybe you decide to talk. Or maybe you decide it's not your crowd and you leave. So we had to learn that one first. And then we had to learn that some folks do want to be best friends with a bottle of Evian water, and some don't. Evian's brand pages had great success, but with only certain amounts of people. Right? But VCs are still definitely investing in social networks, and it's coming down now to some vertical applications. It's coming down to some niches. LinkedIn, another one of Hill & Knowlton's clients, we're very proud of them. They're broadly now recognized as a leader in professional networks and professional networking. And enterprises have been exploring for a while now, but they're exploring even more. Charlene Lee, formerly of Forrester, wrote the book The Groundswell. Have you guys read that? Heard about that? The Groundswell is worth a read if you want to know what not to do. The best part of the book are the horror stories that are told in addition to the case studies. I always learn from worst practices than best practices, frankly. Because best practices are usually too hard to do. And worst practices are probably what I'm about to do tomorrow. So it's useful to read them. And B2B social media is definitely on the rise. For 4.5 years, Hill & Knowlton has done its own research. We've called 300 to 400 CEOs, tech buyers, and lines of business owners from large companies and small companies. And every year we ask them about 50 different questions on what guides their decision to buy technology. And in the last 2 years, online word of mouth, which includes social networks and email from a trusted sales rep and talking to one of their colleagues on Skype. Whatever form it takes doesn't matter. Online word of mouth has been driving lead gen more and more over time. If you're interested in more of that data, contact Christian Brown after this event. We actually have a study from last year we can share with you. We'll be publishing our study again early next year on the change there. But let's go from B2B for a second to consumer attitudes. This is a snapshot of consumer attitudes that was done by Roper GFK from about the time the crash, right before the crash, to now. And they were asking a variety of questions, and they got some data points that revealed, there's, I think, what the 5 stages of grief. So the 5 stages of consumer attitudes about the fact that we're circling the drain. So the big ticket back in winter 2007 and spring 2008, we sensed something was coming, and so we put off the vehicles, we put off the other big expenditures. We were like, okay, I'm still going to spend on the fun stuff day to day, but I'm not going to buy anything big right now. I'm just not sure. Summer 2008 hits, Okay, I'm going to cut back a little bit more on just the fun stuff, but not major belt tightening, just a little bit less fun. Fall 2008, forget it. All bets are off. I'm not spending any money unless I have to. It better be worthwhile. And then, thank God for Susie Orman. In the winter of 2009 to fall 2009, I think I saw her more on TV during that stretch of time than anyone else. She became a character on Saturday Night Live during that stretch of time. That's not an accident. That's a human mindset. Taking advantage of deals. Huge seller. And now, here's what's interesting. We don't know what's coming next. What we do know is that all the old rules are off. You're not selling to demographics or technographics or psychographics anymore. You're selling to a person who's trying to make sense of their new world, who wants to define their relationship with the company on their own terms. Thank you very much. Don't target me as a 35 to 45, upper middle class male. Target me as Josh. So they're creating a new reality, and here's a snapshot of that new reality. 84% said they will continue to consolidate errands even after the recession's over. We're forming new habits after 3 years of belt tightening. 77%, everything's with cash. I mean, try being someone who's selling airline credit cards in an airport these days. It's worse than being a Hare Krishna. I'll take the flower. I will take the flower gladly. I'm not taking the credit card. No offense to anyone of that persuasion here. I think it's a lovely philosophy. Continue to shop at the discount stores. Continue to buy in bulk. Of course, that has impact on the environment, but I'm looking for a deal. I'm looking for a deal. And then down here, 48% plan to buy during sales only. 44% will buy more private labels. We're forming new lifelong habits. And there is a whole generation of kids and young adults who are forming their lifelong buying habits in this environment. You'll watch that group grow up just as we've watched the baby boomers grow up. That means you got to rewrite the rules. And here is a personal point of view. This is not based on any research. This is just me sharing with you a hunch I have traveling and talking to groups like this. I'm seeing a new mindset emerge. We're not consumers anymore. Going back to that 4-dip ice cream cone. How many of you looked at that cone and actually looked appetizing? It's just too much. We're producers. We want to make something with our lives. Home Depot, fall 2008. Let's build something. Or that was Osh. More doing, less buying. That's the power of the Home Depot. Sorry. You know what I'm saying. We want to build something. We want to make something. So I go back to my ingenuity observation. It applies to consumers as well. Help them do more with their life. Some want to make art with their life. Some want to have a legacy. Some just care about the family. But they want to do something. They want to produce something. And that's where innovation technology comes in. We can free up time and space so you can do more. We can make things more efficient. We can give you new tools to use in new ways. I believe, these are the stories that resonate more on the consumer side. It is just an opinion. It's up for debate. But I wanted to share with you my hunch. Comments on this one?
Amen.
Say again?
Amen.
This one was not very popular in Beijing. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're counting on a continued consumer mindset for quite some time. Okay, online marketing bets. Christian, can I get a time check?